We are doing a Make It Monday video, and we're going to go ahead and do some spices because we need spice in our life. We need herbs and we need to have flavor in our food. So we decided to do a lot of different seasonings. And I decided to do 2 seasonings today because I feel like it's going to be super easy to do. The one that I'm starting with is going to be taco seasoning. I use taco seasoning in a few different every week recipes, so it's a one that we use a lot. Now here I have this organic one that I got from Sam's Club, and it's got organic spices, sea salt, organic, everything's organic, tomato, paprika, sugar, red peppers, garlic, onion, and cornstarch and citrus acid. So it still has a little bit of funky stuff in it, but they're organic funky stuff, so who knows. I also am going to insert some pictures of these taco packets that I took at the store so that we can talk a little bit about these. This is the McCormick taco seasoning, and as you can see in the ingredients, we have spices that include what you see but not limited to, so we don't really know what that is. And then we have the cornstarch, which if you research that, it's not great. Let's get started. Okay. I'm going to make a little bit of a mess. I'm going to get that right out of the gate here because they're going to spill and I'm going to have to be fine with it. In this recipe, it has a pepper optional, and I decided to opt out on that because it's already going to be spicy enough and my kids don't all love spice, so we're just going to go ahead and leave that out. So this first, it says 2 tablespoons of this chili powder. I'm already nervous about that. That seems like a lot of heat, but we'll find out. 2 of those babies, 2 ground cumin. I'm going to use that, don't lie. Whoa, I'm totally going to use that. 1. Just cut this out if you don't want to see me getting it right off the counter. I'm going to cut it out because I don't care. Whoa. Wow, this is a mess. Okay, there's our 2 tablespoons. Look at all that waste. No thanks. I'm keeping you. Let's get real. Thing. A teaspoon and a half of onion powder. All right, I'm gonna go with the straight 2 teaspoons because guess what? I don't have onion powder. I have onion salt. Actually, I don't. I have granulated onion. No onion powder here. I don't buy onion powder. I wonder if I should. I don't know. But I always use the granulated onion, and it's 2.5. So I'm gonna do 2 because it's not as concentrated. 2 teaspoons. I hope nobody cares that I'm using my hands and fingers. I'm fine with it. Same thing with the garlic powder, but I'll follow the rules on this one because it's not granulated. It's just powder. Although I do love garlic. I guess I'll do the right thing. I'll follow the recipe for the video. So a teaspoon and a half of garlic powder. Here we go. Now we're going to add some more heat. Oh, this makes me nervous. This is cayenne. It calls for a teaspoon. I don't know that I want to do that. I'm going to do 1/4. Sorry, it's just too risky for my kids' mouths. 1/4 of cayenne. And now we're going to do the 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I'm actually going to make a mess doing this as well. What did I already say? 1/2 teaspoon of salt. That's a teaspoon. Here's a 1/2 teaspoon. I wonder though if they're calling for regular salt because again I have my Himalayan pink salt, which is a little bit stronger. So I think I'm gonna do not a full one. And that's it. That's our taco seasoning. It's so pretty. I'm gonna shake it. Now how we're going to taste this today is that I'm going to cook up some meat and just put it on the meat. I'm going to do some with our homemade seasoning and some with our organic seasoning and see what we think. Okay. I forgot to add the oregano. 1/2 teaspoon of oregano in here. How do normal people do this without making a huge mess? That's it. Now we shake it. Now we're ready to rock and roll. So for this seasoning recipe, we're going to do onion soup mix. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but I've put it in so many recipes. It makes everything taste so delicious. You can have it as dip, obviously, but you can also put it in like meatloaf and other types of dishes that just make it yummy. But we're going to make it from scratch because it has funky stuff in it. As you can see, I'm not able to get all the onion soup mix on here, but just by looking at it, you can see it's got a bunch of junk in it. It's not good for you at all. So we're going to start with 2 teaspoons of garlic. I think that I would usually double these recipes, especially like, I'll be right back. This is all that taco seasoning made. That's probably like 3 meals for my family. Maybe I'd probably double it, get like 6 meals out of it. Let's see what this ends up looking like. Five tablespoons of onion powder. Yowza, tablespoons? Oh yeah, tablespoons. That's a lot. Again, they want the powder and I have the granulated. So we'll see how that treats us. 5 tablespoons. I may need a bigger jar. Oh, Lord have mercy. We have to already get a bowl out. They want a half a cup of these dried onions. Let's hope we have a half a cup in here. I didn't realize they were getting so crazy with this recipe. So now we have to get out the big guns here. I'm glad I got something to do with these dried onions. I don't usually have dried onions, so I'm glad that we've put good use to them. Yeah, it's almost taken up this whole thing. Half a cup of that, baby. Pour all of our stuff in there now. 2 tablespoons of dried parsley. What did I say, 2 tablespoons? Yeah, that's what I said. Usually I do a lot more chit chat, so I don't know what I'm doing, but I think I'm doing all right. 1, 2. Dried parsley. Again, I would love to work with fresh or even that freeze-dried stuff that we used last time. That really worked out great. Okay, they want a teaspoon of black ground pepper. So this is going to add some spice. I bet you could leave this out. And this is how I'm going to ground it. Right into my cup and make a huge mess. If anybody has any better ideas, I guess you can put it on like a cutting board. Yeah. Better not touch my eyes for this. And then like scoop it into your cup. What do people do with their grounded up peppercorn pepper and salt? Do you know? You know a better way that I'm doing this, Justin?
Maybe into a measuring cup and then scooping it out.
Oh, that's better than making this huge mess. That's why I have you around. Okay, so that was, what was that already? Pepper. 1 teaspoon. Now we need 2 tablespoons, nope, 2 teaspoons of celery seed. Never ever cooked with celery seed in my life. These are tiny little seeds. I don't know if they were supposed to be crushed or anything like that. They smell, I guess, a little like celery. This is going to be something so dumb to say. Does this come from celery? Like a celery plant?
My guess is it's not a carrot.
I'm going to take my husband's advice. The amazing advice that'll keep this from happening. One. 2. 2 teaspoons of pink salt. Oh, I gotta use my pink salt. 2 teaspoons. The problem with this maneuver is, how do you grind it, hold it over your thing, and...
You don't. You just grind it in there and then you scoop it up.
Oh, you just guess how much grinding you'll need?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-oh. Okay.
Look that precise.
Look at me mess free. Okay. That really worked. Thank you. Last ingredient, 2 teaspoons of turmeric. This stuff, it goes in a lot of recipes, but I don't think it ever tastes really good. So, It must do its trick when it mixes up into something. I use it in my Indian recipes, my Indian food I make. Oh, I'm already not following my own rules. There. I said 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm already not following my own new rule. How do you get it back in there?
You don't.
You make a mess getting it back in?
Yeah.
Okay. Like that, I guess.
It is what it is.
Oh, all my lids are everywhere. All right, let me get a spoon out. Okay, look how pretty. I love when they just sit all separately, but all beautiful. All right, so we are actually going to use sour cream to make our dip and some chips. That's pretty. Looks like onion soup. We're going to smell it because I have to smell everything. Interesting. I don't know what that smells like. Smells good though. All right, let's start making our food. It does smell like onion soup to me. It smells just like the real stuff. So I'm going to do about a cup, because my kids will eat this dip. About a cup of sour cream. And then I'm going to start with maybe 2 tablespoons of our dip. It's going to have gone to the bottom probably, so I'm going to scoop towards the bottom. There we go. Look at that. That's beautiful. 1, 2. I feel like that's about the size of a packet maybe that you would get. So we're going to go with that. And you can always add more sour cream or add more dip. So that's what's great too. Just add more or less, do what you want. That's what I love about recipes. As long as this tastes delicious and whatever you're putting in it is delicious, you just mix it up and put whatever you want, right? Whatever you like. All right, we're going to let this sit in the fridge for a little bit.
All right.
So this is about the time I put my seasoning in. And don't judge me when you see the amount of seasoning I actually put in. This is sort of why I want it to be healthy, because if I put 40 pounds of just spice in my meat that makes meat, that's kind of gross, tastes delicious, then who cares, right? But if it's got funky stuff in it, you're putting gross stuff in your body. But all right, so this small one has our organic spices. And this bigger one is going to be our homemade. There she goes. And by the way, she smells just like taco seasoning. Yes. See, so that'll, yeah, maybe 1 or 2 other meals. So this is just a half a pound. Less than a half a pound. I guess I need 2 different spatulas if I'm going to get serious. We're ready to taste test. I'm going with number 1. We used chips because I thought that was the closest thing to a taco. That's really good. Tons and tons of flavor in that. Yeah, I like that one. Let me get some water here. Okay. That's good too. It's not as flavorful as this one though. Yeah, it's good, but it's just, this is like, bam, in your face, delicious.
That's the one.
This is the one. What is it?
Homemade.
Homemade. Homemade delicious. Yep. Justin's turn.
I
mixed them up.
I am trying to cut out carbs, but I will sacrifice for the sake of science. All right, let's go with this.
Do you want water?
That's really good. That's good. it doesn't have as much flavor. So the flavor is like a little more dull.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't like this one. When you first bite, it's like bang! It just pops. All that flavor pops in your mouth, and I feel like there's layers of flavor. And this one is really good. I mean, I would eat that in a taco and all day long. But this is the one.
Yeah.
Number one right there. That's
Number one. That's the fresh homemade one. This is our onion soup dip. We're not going to do a taste test with the onion soup packet and the homemade packet. We all know we like the onion soup packet, so that's that. We're just going to do this original one with chips.
Looks delicious. Look.
Justin had a really good idea too, if you don't like it as chunky as this, to grind it up and make it smaller.
That is so good.
You like it?
Oops. Oh yeah.
Can you hand me a chip?
Mom. Have him. Have him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right in there and coming
I
at you.
can't. I can't hold it. So good. I can eat this for hours.
Oh yeah.
Kinda.
It tastes like sour cream and onion chips.
Mm-hmm. That's really good.
I kinda have like an onion. I can kinda taste
So
like
anything-
an onion taste.
Anything that you use onion soup for, and any kind of dips or recipes, you can just replace it. It's really good. It tastes really similar. It tastes super fresh too.
So 4 points. Where are we at with the seasonings?
Delicious. Both seasonings, delicious. Healthy, yes. It's all natural stuff, not a single preservative at all. Budget friendly. A taco packet is ridiculously cheap. So basically, you can get, as you saw in the pictures that I showed, you can get them cheap. You can get a healthy packet or you can get a gross packet. But they're really cheap. But making it homemade, I don't know the flavor though. That's the only thing. I don't know the flavor of a packet. If it had been in there so long that the flavor had died down, even though it was healthy. So it's a good point. You might want to check a healthy packet with homemade, because our healthy packet, this is organic taco seasoning. It was super dull in flavor compared to the other stuff. I wonder if I use so much of this taco seasoning because it's really dull. Like I never even noticed because I like the flavor so much. I just pour it in. Maybe I would use less of our homemade taco seasoning. But still delicious. And so what do we do? Budget, delicious, healthy.
Easy to make.
Easy to make. I felt like that was super easy to make. Did you feel like it was super easy to make? I literally took everything out of my pantry and made it. There wasn't a single ingredient in this taco seasoning that I didn't already have in my pantry. So that was pretty awesome. I just threw it together. If I'm going to start making pre-mixed seasoning packets, I might buy bigger size of, plain ingredients, like the chili pepper or the chili seasoning. Is it just called chili seasoning? I might buy, a large chili seasoning just so I have all my stuff to be able to pre-mix my combination seasonings like taco seasoning. The onion soup mixture. I had everything on hand as well, except for the celery seed. But I barely used any of it. I have a whole jar left that I can make this over and over again. Also, actually, I lied. I don't usually have the dehydrated onion, but I don't mind having that on hand. I feel like you can put that in tons of recipes. I used to have it on hand, but I just didn't use it very much. So I had almost everything I needed on hand, so I felt like it was budget friendly. I think it's healthy. Let's check out the sour cream real quick. Plus, you can mix this in yogurt. People like to use Greek yogurt as a dip. So that could work, or cream cheese, or what else? Whatever else you want. Hummus? You want to put that in hummus? Do it. I don't know if some people put that in anything. Our cream cheese is cream, milk, non-fat milk. 2 carbs. Oops. 2 carbs, 1 gram of protein. I'm okay with this too. Don't think anything bad about that. So I'd say healthy, budget friendly.
Easy to make.
Easy to make.
Delicious.
Delicious. Both seasonings are a go for me. Thank you for watching.